In today's episode, we explore how these 5 people were eaten alive during cage diving expeditions, from a marine biologist testing his academic knowledge to a filmmaker seeking the perfect shot on an island. But first, a wildlife photographer's quest for award-winning footage at Seal Island leads to an encounter with nature's most perfect predator. It was August 15, 2014, when the waters surrounding Seal Island, South Africa, claimed another victim to the ocean's most feared predator. Located 8 kilometers southeast of Hout Bay, this rocky outcrop churned with anticipation as dawn broke over the South African coast. The island's jagged cliffs rose 30 meters above the Atlantic, while beneath the surface, the continental shelf dropped into depths exceeding 500 meters. Home to over 60,000 Cape Fur seals, these waters served as a prime hunting ground for apex predators. Olivia Chen, a 34-year-old freelance wildlife photographer from San Francisco, had arrived at this remote location with a single purpose. For 12 years, she had built her reputation capturing dangerous wildlife in their natural habitats, often pushing boundaries that made fellow photographers uncomfortable. Her portfolio included close encounters with Kodiak bears in Alaska and saltwater crocodiles in Australia, but great whites remained her ultimate challenge. Chen had spent 2 years planning this expedition, studying shark behavior patterns and feeding schedules around Seal Island. Peak season brought massive females to these waters, some exceeding 20 feet in length. She had chosen to work alone, believing that smaller groups attracted less attention from the predators. Her diving cage bobbed 30 meters from the island's eastern shore, where the seal colony's morning exodus would soon begin. The great white shark represents the ocean's most efficient predator, having evolved over 400 million years into a perfect killing machine. Adult females can reach lengths of 20 feet and weight exceeding 5,000 pounds. Their triangular, serrated teeth are designed to slice through flesh and bone with devastating efficiency. These apex predators possess electroreception capabilities, detecting the electrical fields generated by all living creatures, making escape nearly impossible once targeted. At 7:23 a.m., an 18-foot female great white emerged from the depths, her massive form cutting through the water with terrifying grace. The shark began circling Chen's cage in a methodical pattern, her black eyes fixed on the photographer inside. Chen recognized the aggressive posturing immediately. The arched back, lowered pectoral fins, and tight circling behavior indicated a highly agitated predator. Despite the obvious danger signals and every safety protocol screaming against it, Chen's obsession consumed her rational mind. The morning light filtered perfectly through the water, and the shark's massive size promised the career-defining footage she'd been desperately chasing. Her trembling hand moved toward the cage's emergency latch, a mechanism she'd been trained never to touch, except in life-threatening equipment failures. Just 30 seconds, she told herself, the same lie that had driven her to photograph avalanches and deadly storms. The metal door swung open with a soft click that seemed to echo through the water like a death knell. Chen extended her waterproof camera housing beyond the cage's protective bars, focusing on the approaching predator. The great white detected the movement instantly, her lateral line system registering the subtle water displacement. In a burst of explosive power, the shark accelerated directly toward the opening. The attack occurred with devastating precision. The great white's jaws, capable of exerting 4,000 psi, clamped down on Chen's torso just below her ribcage. The initial impact crushed her sternum and multiple ribs, the bone fragments puncturing both lungs simultaneously. The predator's powerful neck muscles engaged in a violent thrashing motion, designed to tear away large chunks of flesh from prey. Chen's body was pulled completely from the cage as the shark's serrated teeth sawed through muscle tissue and organs. Her wetsuit provided no protection against the razor-sharp dental array, which sliced through the neoprene-like paper. Blood erupted into the surrounding water as major arteries were severed. The shark's teeth had penetrated her liver, stomach, and left kidney, causing massive internal hemorrhaging. Chen's breathing apparatus was torn away during the initial attack, filling her damaged lungs with seawater. The combination of catastrophic blood loss, organ failure, and drowning proved fatal within 90 seconds of the initial bite. The great white released its grip and disappeared into the depths, leaving Chen's lifeless body floating near the surface. The cage operator, monitoring from the support vessel, immediately initiated emergency protocols and contacted maritime rescue services. South African authorities launched a comprehensive investigation into the incident, focusing on safety protocol violations and equipment modifications. The diving company faced intense scrutiny regarding its cage maintenance and emergency procedures. Chen's family released a brief statement acknowledging her passion for wildlife photography, while requesting privacy during their grief. The attack marked the third fatal great white encounter near Seal Island in 18 months, prompting renewed calls for enhanced safety regulations in the cage diving industry. Local authorities temporarily suspended commercial shark diving operations pending the investigation's completion. Chen's fatal encounter wasn't the only time experienced divers underestimated apex predators. In Fiji's Becca Lagoon, Ethan Reynolds discovered that another ocean predator was waiting to test his academic knowledge. It was June 3, 2015, when the crystal-clear waters of Becca Lagoon in Fiji transformed from paradise into a nightmare. Located on the southern coast of Viti Levu, this pristine marine sanctuary stretched across 390 square kilometers of protected coral reefs and deep channels. The lagoon's unique geography, featuring dramatic drop-offs and tidal passages, had created the perfect ecosystem for apex predators to flourish in unprecedented numbers. Ethan Reynolds, a 28-year-old marine biology teacher from Perth, had chosen this remote destination to celebrate his honeymoon with wife Sarah, a certified rescue diver with over 200 logged dives. While Ethan possessed extensive diving experience, he had never attempted cage diving with sharks. His adventurous and curious personality drove him to seek first-hand encounters with the marine life he taught about in his classroom. The couple had specifically requested the most active shark site in the lagoon, despite repeated warnings from local operators about recent aggressive encounters. Ethan's fascination with predator behavior stemmed from his academic work studying shark migration patterns. He viewed this honeymoon dive as an opportunity to gather behavioral observations for his curriculum development. Sarah, equally passionate about marine conservation, supported her husband's research ambitions. The couple had spent months planning this expedition, researching the lagoon's reputation as one of the world's premier bull shark diving locations. Recent heavy rainfall had increased nutrient runoff into the lagoon, attracting larger numbers of prey fish and subsequently drawing more predators to the area. Local dive operators had reported unusual territorial behavior among resident bull sharks, with several incidents of cage contact in the preceding weeks. The water temperature of 82 degrees Fahrenheit created optimal conditions for shark activity. Bull sharks represent one of the ocean's most formidable and unpredictable predators. These apex hunters can reach lengths of 11 feet and weights exceeding 500 pounds, with their stocky, muscular build generating tremendous power through the water. Their unique physiology allows them to survive in both saltwater and freshwater environments, making them one of the few shark species capable of traveling far inland through river systems. Most critically, bull sharks possess the highest testosterone levels of any animal on Earth, fueling their notoriously aggressive temperament. Their bite force measures over 5,900 pounds per square inch, delivered through rows of broad, triangular teeth designed to grip and crush rather than slice. Unlike great whites that typically bite and release, bull sharks employ a death roll technique to disorient prey and tear away chunks of flesh. At 2:30 p.m., Ethan and Sarah descended into the aluminum cage suspended 20 feet below the surface. The rectangular enclosure measured 8 feet by 6 feet, with horizontal bars spaced 10 inches apart to prevent shark entry, while allowing clear viewing. The cage's design had been tested extensively, but recent incidents suggested some predators had learned to exploit structural weaknesses. Within minutes of reaching depth, a massive 10-foot male bull shark emerged from the murky depths. His scarred hide and distinctive blunt snout marked him as a mature, territorial male. The predator approached the cage with calculated precision, his small eyes fixed on the human occupants with predatory interest. Ethan, mesmerized by the shark's proximity and eager to observe its behavior patterns, made a fatal decision. Despite explicit safety warnings, he extended his right hand through the cage bars, attempting to touch the passing predator. The bull shark's response was instantaneous and devastating. The predator's massive jaws clamped down on Ethan's forearm with crushing force. His triangular teeth, each measuring over an inch in length, penetrated through the neoprene wetsuit and deep into the bone. The radius and ulna fractured under immense pressure as serrated edges severed muscle tissue, tendons, and major blood vessels. The bull shark immediately initiated his signature death roll, a feeding behavior designed to disorient prey and strip flesh from bone. Ethan's shoulder joint dislocated with an audible crack as the 400-pound predator twisted his powerful body in violent spirals. Sarah grabbed her husband's free arm, desperately attempting to pull him back into the cage's safety. The aluminum bars began bending under the tremendous torque as the shark thrashed against the enclosure. Ethan's wetsuit filled with crimson as the brachial artery ruptured, sending pressurized streams of blood through the water. The predator's grip tightened with each rotation, his teeth grinding against bone as he worked to separate the limb. For 45 seconds, the bull shark maintained his death grip while performing continuous barrel rolls. The violent motion stripped the flesh from Ethan's forearm in ragged chunks, exposing white bone beneath. His hand, still trapped in the predator's jaws, had turned completely pale as circulation ceased. Bone fragments and tissue floated through the water column as the shark's teeth functioned like a biological saw. The bull shark finally released its grip and disappeared into the depths, leaving behind a cloud of blood and debris. Ethan's right arm hung by mere strands of muscle and tendon below the elbow, the bone completely severed. Emergency ascent procedures began immediately as Sarah applied direct pressure to the catastrophic wound using her weight belt. Surface medical teams worked frantically during the helicopter evacuation to Suva Private Hospital. Surgeons performed emergency amputation below the elbow, removing the mangled remains of Ethan's forearm. Multiple blood transfusions were required to replace the massive volume lost during the 45-second attack. Fijian maritime authorities launched a comprehensive investigation into cage design standards and safety protocols. The incident prompted new regulations requiring reinforced barriers and mandatory safety briefings about maintaining distance from marine predators. Beka Lagoon Shark Dive suspended operations for 6 weeks, pending safety upgrades. Ethan's recovery required 18 months of reconstructive surgery and rehabilitation. His teaching career continued with a prosthetic limb, though he never returned to cage diving. Reynolds' tragic encounter wasn't the only time curiosity proved deadly around apex predators. In the Bahamas, Sophia Rossi would soon discover that some predators show no mercy to thrill seekers. It was September 22, 2016, when the crystal-clear waters surrounding Cat Island, Bahamas, shimmered under the morning Caribbean sun, their deceptive beauty masking the apex predators lurking beneath. This remote stretch of the Bahamas had earned a notorious reputation among thrill seekers for its aggressive oceanic white-tip shark population, drawing adrenaline junkies from around the world to test their courage against nature's most efficient killers. Sophia Rossi, a 31-year-old extreme sports instructor from California, had specifically chosen this location for her friend's bachelorette party adventure. Known throughout her professional skydiving and rock climbing circles for pushing safety limits beyond reason, Sophia possessed an insatiable appetite for danger that had already resulted in numerous close calls with wildlife during her global adventures. Her 3 college friends watched nervously as she boasted about her plans to get closer to the sharks than anyone had dared before. The previous evening's heavy drinking session had left Sophia still intoxicated as their charter boat anchored above the notorious feeding grounds. Despite the captain's repeated safety warnings and her friends' growing concerns, Sophia dismissed all precautions with her characteristic reckless confidence. The shark cage diving operation had attracted multiple oceanic white-tips to the area, their distinctive white-tipped fins cutting through the water with predatory precision. Oceanic white-tip sharks rank among the ocean's most aggressive and opportunistic predators. These massive creatures, capable of reaching lengths exceeding 12 feet, possess incredibly powerful jaws, lined with razor-sharp, serrated teeth, designed to tear through flesh and bone with devastating efficiency. Unlike their more cautious reef-dwelling cousins, oceanic white-tips display bold, investigative behavior toward unfamiliar objects, often approaching potential prey with little hesitation. During the morning dive session, several oceanic white-tips circled the submerged cage, while Sophia and her friends observed from within the protective barriers. Unsatisfied with the conventional viewing experience, Sophia ignored all safety protocols and climbed onto the cage's slippery roof, declaring her intention to surf with the sharks. Her friends screamed warnings from below as she balanced precariously on the wet metal surface, arms outstretched for balance. A massive 12-foot female oceanic white-tip, attracted by the unusual movement above, approached from the depths with calculated precision. The shark's powerful tail propelled its muscular body upward as Sophia lost her footing on the treacherous cage top. She plunged directly into the water beside the ascending predator, her splash creating the exact disturbance that triggered the shark's attack response. The oceanic white-tip struck with lightning speed, its massive jaws engulfing Sophia's entire midsection in a crushing bite. The shark's teeth, each measuring over an inch in length, penetrated deep into her torso, while the incredible bite force of over 4,000 pounds per square inch instantly crushed her pelvis and lower spine. Vertebrae shattered like glass under immense pressure as the shark's jaws compressed her body cavity. The predator lifted Sophia completely out of the water, her legs dangling helplessly as blood poured from the massive wounds. The shark's powerful neck muscles shook her violently from side to side, the serrated teeth sawing through muscle, organs, and bone with horrifying efficiency. Her aorta and vena cava severed completely, causing catastrophic internal bleeding that turned the surrounding water crimson. The oceanic white-tip dove deep, dragging Sophia's broken body 40 feet below the surface. The combination of massive blood loss, crushed internal organs, and drowning proved instantly fatal as seawater flooded her punctured lungs. The shark continued its violent thrashing for several more seconds before releasing her lifeless form, which sank slowly toward the ocean floor as the predator circled nearby. Bahamian authorities launched an immediate investigation into the incident, though the remote location and lack of proper safety oversight complicated their efforts. Sophia's family released a brief statement requesting privacy while expressing their devastation over losing someone who lived a life without limits. The charter company faced intense scrutiny over its safety protocols and supervision of intoxicated clients. The tragedy prompted new regulations requiring mandatory sobriety checks for all cage diving participants. Rossi's fatal encounter wasn't the only time Bahamian waters turned deadly. At Tiger Beach, a marine biologist would face a 14-foot tiger shark that would change his life forever. It was April 18, 2017. The crystal-clear waters of Tiger Beach stretched endlessly under the Caribbean sun, 25 miles off the western coast of Grand Bahama Island. This remote diving location had earned its reputation as one of the world's premier shark diving destinations, where the sandy bottom dropped to 40 feet and massive predators congregated during the cooler months. The area's unique geography created perfect hunting conditions, with shallow reefs providing abundant prey and warm currents carrying the scent of food across miles of ocean. Dr. Liam Gallagher descended into these waters with the confidence of a man who had spent 15 years studying apex predators. The 42-year-old marine biologist from Sydney University had published dozens of papers on shark behavior and feeding patterns, establishing himself as one of Australia's leading experts on large marine predators. His methodical approach to research had taken him to dangerous waters across the globe, but Tiger Beach represented the pinnacle of his career ambitions. The site's high concentration of tiger sharks during winter months offered unprecedented opportunities to collect behavioral data and tissue samples that could revolutionize the understanding of predator ecology. Gallagher had chosen this particular expedition to test new sampling equipment designed to collect genetic material without traditional baiting methods. His specialized 6-foot carbon fiber pole featured a spring-loaded collection device that could extract tissue samples through minimal contact. The research vessel anchored above had lowered a reinforced aluminum cage to the seafloor, providing what should have been complete protection, while allowing close observation of the massive predators that ruled these waters. Tiger sharks rank among the ocean's most formidable predators, reaching lengths of 18 feet and weights exceeding 2,000 pounds. These apex hunters possess serrated teeth designed to slice through turtle shells, whale blubber, and virtually any organic material they encounter. Their powerful jaws generate bite forces exceeding 6,000 pounds per square inch, while their muscular bodies can accelerate from stillness to 25 miles per hour in seconds. Unlike many shark species, tigers show little fear of humans and possess an aggressive curiosity that makes them particularly dangerous to researchers. The 14-foot female that approached Gallagher's cage represented a perfect specimen for his research. Her scarred hide and massive girth indicated an experienced predator in her prime, exactly the type of individual whose genetic material could provide crucial insights into tiger shark population dynamics. As she circled the cage with lazy confidence, Gallagher prepared his sampling equipment and extended the pole through the cage bars. The moment the carbon fiber rod made contact with the shark's flank, her demeanor changed instantly. The gentle circling motion exploded into violent aggression as she detected the foreign object against her skin. Her massive tail drove her forward with tremendous force, her mouth opening to reveal rows of razor-sharp teeth as she attacked the perceived threat. The pole became her target, but her momentum carried her directly into the cage structure. The impact bent the reinforced aluminum bars inward with a grinding screech of twisted metal. Gallagher's left leg, positioned near the cage wall, became trapped between the bent bars as they compressed around his shin just below the knee. The wetsuit provided no protection as the metal edges cut into his flesh, but worse was yet to come. The tiger shark's attack continued as her jaws clamped down on his trapped leg. Her serrated teeth penetrated through the neoprene wetsuit and into the soft tissue beneath, while the crushing force of her bite fractured both the tibia and fibula bones. Blood clouded the water as her teeth ground against bone, the shark's natural thrashing motion causing additional tissue damage with each movement. Gallagher reached for his diving knife with desperate precision, striking repeatedly at the shark's snout and eye area. Each blow was calculated to target the most sensitive areas, without causing permanent damage to the research specimen. After what seemed like an eternity, but lasted only seconds, the shark released her grip and disappeared into the blue water beyond. The twisted cage bars held Gallagher's mangled leg in a vice-like grip as blood continued to flow from multiple puncture wounds. The dive crew above worked frantically with cutting tools to free him from the compressed metal, while emergency medical protocols were activated aboard the research vessel. The tissue damage was extensive, with the shark's teeth having crushed muscle, severed blood vessels, and created compound fractures in both lower leg bones. Following emergency evacuation to Nassau and subsequent medical treatment in Miami, doctors determined that the extensive bone fragmentation and tissue destruction required amputation below the knee. The Bahamas Maritime Authority launched an investigation into the incident, focusing on safety protocols for scientific diving operations in shark-populated waters. Gallagher's University issued statements supporting improved safety measures for marine research, while the international scientific community debated the risks inherent in close-contact predator studies. The incident sparked renewed discussions about the balance between scientific advancement and researcher safety in extreme environments. Marine biology programs worldwide reviewed their protocols for working with large predators, implementing stricter guidelines for cage diving operations. Gallagher survived his encounter with a 14-foot tiger shark, but at Guadalupe Island, another filmmaker would face an even larger predator with fatal consequences. It was November 8th, 2017 in Mexico. The waters surrounding Guadalupe Island churned with an otherworldly darkness as dawn broke over the Pacific. Located 150 miles off the Baja California coast, this remote volcanic island had become a mecca for great white shark encounters during peak season. The water temperature hovered at a perfect 68 degrees, creating ideal conditions for the apex predators that migrated here annually. Kelp forests swayed in the underwater currents, while sea lions barked from rocky outcroppings, their presence attracting the very predators that made these waters legendary. Chloe Kim, a 39-year-old documentary filmmaker from London, stood on the deck of the research vessel Neptune's Eye, adjusting her diving equipment with practiced precision. Her weathered hands betrayed years of dangerous wildlife filming across 6 continents. Kim had built her reputation capturing footage that others deemed impossible, often placing herself in precarious situations for the perfect shot. Her previous documentary about polar bears had earned critical acclaim, but her latest project about African lions had flopped commercially, leaving investors demanding more sensational content. The financial pressure weighed heavily on her shoulders as she prepared for what she hoped would be her career-defining moment. The pressure to deliver had brought Kim to these shark-infested waters during the height of the great white season. Her 3-person crew watched nervously as she outlined her plan to film outside the protective cage. The dive operator, Captain Rodriguez, had initially refused her request, but Kim's persistence and additional payment had eventually swayed him. She needed footage that would guarantee her documentary's success, and she believed authentic close-range shots of great whites would provide exactly that dramatic impact. The morning briefing had been tense, with crew members expressing concerns about the unprecedented risk. Great white sharks are among the ocean's most formidable predators, capable of reaching lengths exceeding 20 feet and weights of over 5,000 pounds. Their torpedo-shaped bodies can propel them through water at speeds up to 35 miles per hour. Most critically, their jaws contain up to 300 triangular serrated teeth, arranged in multiple rows, designed to tear through flesh and bone with devastating efficiency. These apex predators typically hunt seals and sea lions around Guadalupe Island, using ambush tactics that involve striking from below with tremendous force. Their bite force can exceed 4,000 psi, capable of crushing a small boat. At 10:47 a.m., Kim descended into the crystal-clear water, her handheld camera housing gleaming in the filtered sunlight. The diving cage floated nearby, her crew filming from its safety. Within minutes, a massive female great white, measuring approximately 19 feet in length, emerged from the blue depths. The shark moved with deliberate grace, circling Kim at a distance of roughly 30 feet. Its black eyes remained fixed on the filmmaker as she maneuvered to capture the perfect angle. The predator's scarred hide told stories of countless battles in these unforgiving waters. Kim positioned herself 10 feet from the cage, completely exposed to open water. The great white's circling pattern tightened with each pass, its massive pectoral fins cutting through the water with mechanical precision. Without any warning signs, the shark suddenly accelerated from below, its powerful tail driving it upward at incredible speed. The impact was catastrophic. The great white jaws clamped down on Kim's torso just below her ribcage, the upper teeth penetrating deep into her back while the lower teeth crushed her abdomen. The force of the strike launched both predator and victim above the water's surface before gravity pulled them back down. Kim's camera spiraled away into the depths as the shark's teeth punctured her liver, stomach, and several major blood vessels. The great white began its death roll, rotating its massive body with Kim still trapped in its jaws. The first rotation shattered 3 ribs on her left side. The second roll tore through her wetsuit and opened massive lacerations across her torso. The third and final rotation caused complete organ failure as the shark's serrated teeth severed her spinal cord and punctured her lungs. Blood poured from Kim's wounds, turning the surrounding water crimson. Her wetsuit filled completely with blood as the shark maintained its grip for nearly 2 minutes. The predator's powerful jaw muscles continued to compress, causing additional internal damage with each passing second. Finally, the great white released its grip, allowing Kim's lifeless body to float motionless in the bloodied water. The dive team recovered Kim's body within minutes, but the massive blood loss and catastrophic organ damage had already proven fatal. Her torso bore the unmistakable pattern of great white teeth marks, with wounds measuring over 18 inches across. Mexican authorities launched an immediate investigation into the incident, focusing on the dive operator's decision to allow cage-free diving during peak shark season. Kim's family released a brief statement expressing their grief while acknowledging her lifelong passion for wildlife filmmaking. The footage from her final dive was never released to the public. Environmental groups used the tragedy to highlight the dangers of exploiting wildlife for entertainment purposes. The waters around Guadalupe Island continue to attract thrill seekers and researchers, but Kim's death serves as a stark reminder of the ocean's unforgiving nature. Her story joins a growing list of encounters where human ambition met nature's raw power with devastating consequences. Just when you think you've heard the most terrifying encounters, click the next video for more deadly shark attacks that will leave you speechless.